Wait, what happened? What's good, party people? This is According to Woods, and I have the honor and privilege of talking to a man just like less than 24 hours ago. He won his retirement fight in boxing, just in boxing, because he's got a bright, studded career ahead of him in MMA. He is the one and only Rafael Newborn Morel. Rafael, how are you, bro?
Oh man, I'm excited, man. I'm happy. Can't.
Dude, I mean, I saw the footage, and it just like, man, them liver shots. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody by the name of Bas Rutten who's absolutely thrilled in the way that you won, because he preaches the liver shot, liver shot, liver shot, and
Yeah.
that's exactly how you dispatch of your opponent in the fourth round of last night.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Boss Root, man. That's one of the biggest, man. One of the biggest legends, actually, man. I think. Wait, he made Hall of Fame, UFC Hall of Fame, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, boy. I used to watch him all the time when I was little, especially when he was fighting before they used gloves.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was straight palm. I think it was like straight palm to the
Palm
face and stuff
strikes,
like.
yep,
Yeah,
absolutely. In pancrase.
yeah. What was that in Japan? Wasn't it?
Yep, absolutely. And it's funny too, because I I went out to his gym, Elite MMA, to interview a couple of his fighters, Ryan Lilly and Zach Kuczynski, about a year ago, right? And
Oh,
right
nice.
there in the office, I mean, not even the office, but like the lobby, you would see the two belts, the UFC heavyweight belt and the King of Pancrase belt, like in glass, and you're just like, what in the hell?
Yeah, dude, it must have been dope, man.
It is dope, but I mean, last night was dope for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, man, it was exciting. You know, what I mean, I was a little nervous, stuff like you know how when you get back in the ring, especially from like a couple years of not fighting and stuff like all you've been doing is just training. Then the coronavirus hitting and everything else like that. It's just yeah, I was nervous. I had butterflies for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, those butterflies, right? I think I heard long ago that butterflies make it real, right? When you stop having butterflies and you don't care, that's when it's time to hang them up, so to speak,
Right.
right? Because
Yeah.
like you don't feel it anymore.
Right. Right. Yeah. I heard last night. I felt it. Tell you that right now.
Now, I mean, obviously, the last time that we spoke, right? Earlier this week, we talked about, how your grandpa was so instrumental in, you know, making you the boxer that you are today, the man that you are today, right? So, I mean, what were those butterflies attributed to the fact that this is the last boxing fight? This is like the last kind of uh, echelon that my grandfather gave me, and here I am in this arena. Him being a champion himself. Here I am in this arena, and this will be the first time I step through the ropes in this type of combat sport.
Right. No. Well. Uh, let's see. This I announced it to everybody and stuff like that at the fights about this gonna be my last one. Everything and man, you should have been there. Like everybody around in the crowd was like, when they were like, "Hey, is this really gonna be your last fight?" I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be my last boxing fight, man. I got, I'm gonna go to MMA and I'm gonna focus on that and stuff like that." And everybody's like, "No, don't do it, don't do it. Stay in boxing, stay in boxing. You look amazing, you look amazing." And I was like, man, I know, but I want to go back to MMA stuff like who knows, maybe I end up going back to boxing, but yeah, right now my main focus is just trying to get back into the cage.
No, 100%. I guess in the world of combat sports, never say never, right? But
All right.
as of right now, I mean, that's not a bad way to kind of, tip your hat, like like the great Babe Ruth used to do after he hit a home run. He tipped the
Oh
hat to
yeah.
the crowd.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
that's what you did last night.
yeah. It was tough, man. I'll tell you right now, it was tough. There's a tough dude. He's tough. I give my respect to that guy, to my opponent. He's a real tough dude. I was
Now,
trying to knock him out.
I
I was
know,
trying
man.
to.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I mean, let's talk about like the kind of environment, going to fight, right? Because here I am in California, and I mean, things. I mean, there's been one boxing event, and that was one of the premier organizations in boxing. But like local shows and everything like that, they're not opening up probably until next year, right? So, I mean, what kind of processes you have to go through to fight? I mean, like, were you tested? Like, how was it normal or not normal from the last time you stepped between the ropes?
Well, actually, it was pretty normal. It wasn't. There was no testing done and stuff like that. But I had got my testing already done before the fight even happened. So I mean, I knew for a fact I was good. But I mean, other than that, everything else was pretty good. It was, kind of like your regular base, boxing event and stuff like that. They check you, they do your physicals and stuff like that, and then from there you go to the corners. You follow instructions on. I mean, they explain to you the instructions for the fights and everything else like that. And other than that, everything was good. It was normal. I found me my own little spot and stood there and waited till it was my turn to go.
To go down? Yeah, absolutely. Now, I mean, obviously, it happened in the South Carolina is where it happened, right?
Right.
And you
Yeah.
right, and you live in North, right? So going from state to state, like, what was the deal? I mean, did you travel with your team? Did you travel with your family? Like, how was that process?
No, I traveled with my family actually. It was yeah, I traveled with me. It was me and my wife and my daughter and my three my three pups and stuff like that. We went over there. We stayed at the hotel. The drive wasn't that bad. It was only about an hour and 20 minutes, so it wasn't bad at all. Um, as soon as we got to the hotel and stuff like that, everything was looking good. And then the next thing you know, went straight to weigh-ins, and I had two of my buddies, TC and Neil, come too because I wanted some of my teammates there, support me and stuff like that. You should have seen them though, man. They were like bodyguards.
You posted the picture, and I was like, "Yep, that's pretty bodyguard ish, if
Yeah,
that's the word."
yeah, because we knew who my opponent was, and we know who his coach is and stuff like that. We didn't want him to try to get to my head. We didn't want him to try to get into my head and stuff like that before the fight. So we had to make sure that I brought two of the scariest dudes with me from the gym.
Now, in terms of the weigh-ins, like, I mean, was it same day? Was it different day? The day before?
Yeah, the day before. Yeah, I was on the 28th, and then I fought on the 29th. Um, weigh-ins was it was pretty awesome, dude. We got like small clips and stuff like it should be on my Facebook page and on my buddy's Facebook page as well. And yeah, it was pretty awesome.
That's pretty sick. I mean, and shout out to the promotion for kind of taking a stab at it. Because again, for the most part, a lot of combat sports specifically, if not all sports, have kind of taken a back seat. Obviously, people's health and concern. It's like it's a duality because like, do you fight? But then if you had like one of my buddies who actually works for the state athletic commission here, he
Right,
just tested positive. He got his result yesterday, and unfortunately, he tested positive. So it's just like you just never know.
right,
So it's cool to know that they kept your guys' best interest at heart.
right. Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. And how do you call it? Yeah, it was freaking. I ain't gonna lie, the promotion is dope. Uh, the venue was cool. Southpaw promotion was, man, I couldn't believe they actually, like, especially for like, supposedly they have their your limits and stuff like that, where how many people can come in and everything like that. But even though we did have our limits, it was still a good crowd, which was awesome. It was sweet. Even at the weigh-ins, it was a good crowd. It was like, I couldn't believe it. Like, and it was at a one of my favorite. It was like a Hispanic or Latino Cuban area too. So I was like, oh yeah. So I had a good time.
That's awesome. Now, obviously, we're talking about the fans, man. Like to be out so long, right? For one iteration or another, or one reason or another. Like, how is it to kind of hear like the roar of the fans again? That had to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it did after the fight. It did because during the fight I had blocked everything out. I had to try to block everything out so I can stay focused. But yeah, after the fight, when I was talking to when the announcer was interviewing me and stuff like that, yeah, it was awesome. The fans were great. They were shouting and screaming, especially my teammates and everything like that, because we basically took over a whole bleacher, man.
I think that's brilliant. That's brilliant. And again, the support system, having your family there for one last ride in terms of boxing, that had to be important to have your teammates there, and even people within the community to kind of show love for you. That's got to be really really cool.
Yeah, man, it was awesome. I was excited. Like I was nervous in the back, and then when I started walking out towards the ring and stuff like, I saw my family and I saw my friends and my teammates and everything like that, and then it's like, you know what? This is all me right here. This is my time. And I just it felt great.
Oh man, I love it. I love it, and especially it it builds kind of a kind of a upward crescendo. Having all of the support and being able to kind of get it done in the ring. And it wasn't like a decision or anything like that. No, 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 no. You knocked the dude out via liver shot. Yeah, I mean, or and if anybody that hasn't been hit by a liver shot or has never heard of it, I mean, once you get hit there, you pretty much your
Yeah.
body goes into shutdown mode. Like you can't
Yeah.
move.
It's like a whole cramp, like your whole left side just starts cramping up, and you can't help it but actually kneel down and stuff like that. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I've actually got my first MMA fight was uh I lost to a body shot to the liver, and they put me down fast.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a rough deal, man. But that's so talk to us about the fight, right? So, obviously, what you knew about your opponent and what have you. What were you anticipating versus what actually happened?
Well, to be honest, I was actually thinking that he was gonna try to like come at me to try to end me fast, but no, he was in there patient, took his time and everything like that, and I was doing the same. And then I was feeling him out the first time, feeling see how how strong he was and everything like that. And then from there, in half of the first round, then that's when the fight started. It started going from there. It started from the first all the way to the fourth, and we was right on each other, both of us. It was like a slugfest basically, but we both showed some technique, and but no offense to him or nothing like that, but my technique came out a little bit better.
No, and the proof is in the pudding. I mean, or I mean the jarring blow that he took to the liver. So there's that, right? And again, all respect to your opponent because it takes a warrior to step through those ropes or into the cage. In MMA, I mean, it takes a true and blue warrior of any ilk. So it doesn't matter what the record is or whatever. It's just it's
Yeah,
what you do.
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I told him as well. I said, "Look, dude, don't give up. Stay in this division, dude. You're gonna rock this division. Say, keep it up. Say, he's tough. He's a tough kid. I mean, he really is. I was trying to knock him out,
Oof, oof. Now, I mean,
and I,
after the fight, right? I mean, uh, fiery Latino dude, right? So, I mean, obviously, going through a weight cut, and all of that. What was the go-to? Because actually, Everett asked, "Huge fan of you, but can I finally send you food pictures?" Because I guess what had happened is, I mean, you don't want to send anything food-like to any fighter cutting weight. That is like, you know. I
yeah,
remember there was one of my friends, and we were um, we did like a promo video for him before. He's a former King of the Cage champion, Thor Skanky, and me and my buddy, we were so hungry. We had In and Out before, but we were like dousing ourselves in mouthwash and whatever because we didn't want to go into the gym and it smelled like, you know, burger
Food.
essentially. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I had everybody here was picking on me about it, especially during weight cut. So I was like, oh, I can't wait for weigh-ins. Hurry up, let's get here.
So what was the post? Because obviously you had to fight the other day, so you couldn't go too crazy. But what was the post weigh-in meal like?
Dude, I ate me some Cuban sandwiches, man. Gave me some Cuban sandwiches with some fries and drank 3 bottles of Pedialyte.
Dang, putting it down. So I mean, you weighed in and what? And then by the time you stepped in the ring, what was the weight difference between the two?
I came in at 120.5, which I was only supposed to come in at 122, but I came in under 120. Yeah, I came in at 120.5. By the time I got in the ring, I was 128.8, around there, 128, 129. So I gained almost 10 pounds.
Whoo, buddy. And I mean, of course, there was a considerable intake in food, but the fact of the matter, especially if you dehydrate yourself to cut weight and, drain all the water out and everything like that, it's almost like a sponge, right? Where it's a dry sponge and then you put a
Right.
little bit of water and the thing
It
expands.
blows, yeah, it expands it like crazy. Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Everett, and we addressed it before, but he wants to know, huge fan of you, of course, and he's going to send you food pictures. And does this mean that you're retired from MMA? And go ahead and answer it, my man.
No, I'm not retired from MMA. I'm just gonna stop boxing for a while and stuff like. I'm gonna focus more on MMA than anything. So yeah, right now I gotta wait a couple. I'm gonna wait a couple months or a few months. Let me heal up. Let my hand heal up right. Let my nose heal up right, and everything like that. Let my body heal, so that way I can go ahead and step back in the cage and everything like that.
We can't wait. We absolutely can't wait. I can't wait. I know Everett is there. Can't wait. And Steve Tatum is chiming in and he's like, appreciate the good sportsmanship to give that type of feedback after the fight. The what you told your opponent. So that's pretty cool. And then speaking of food, after the post fight, any specialty food that you crave?
Now, actually, I was gonna eat. I was planning on eating chicken with it was gonna be pasta chicken with shrimp. But and then when we was at the weigh-ins and stuff like that, and I found out they had Cubans, I was like, oh, I'm going for that. I'm getting me some Cubans. And then after the fight, I went back and got me some more Cubans. I
That's the
had
move.
to. I had to go back to get more Cubans. They was so good. They remind me back in Miami and stuff like that, when I was living down there, and I used to go eat at all the Cuban spots. Oh yeah, awesome.
Oh, I mean, that's like almost a heaven sent because I mean, uh, are there many Cuban places where you're at now?
No, we only have one in Hickory, but they closed. By the time I get off work, I can't even go because they're closed. So yeah,
It was nice to get a bit of your culture back, right?
yeah, at least a quarter of it.
Hey, six and one half, half dozen the other, right?
Yeah.
Now, in terms of the fight, right? So, obviously, you sustained a injury to your nose, right? And
Yeah, those.
right. So, at what point of the fight were you aware of that occurring?
My hand was in the third round, and then my nose, I think it was in the second round, right when he caught me, right before the bell rung, is when he caught me. And like, I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for that bell, whew, you probably would have got me.
Woo, buddy. I mean,
Yes,
it,
Saved by the
what,
Bell.
yeah, and it's funny. We saw it last night with the UFC fight. Zach Cummings, he hit a. It almost looked like a Shawn Michaels super kick, right? And he knocked. I mean, it was like right at he hit it. The bell rang, right, and it was like the third round, and the dude was trying to like, oh, shake it off or whatever, and he went like almost spaghetti legged back into his corner. He actually dropped after the bell had rung. So, I mean, that had to be a pretty gnarly scenario. Like, I mean, did you know how hurt you were?
Yeah,
When that hit.
yeah. When he caught me good. And I told my corner because the bell rung and I was in my corner and stuff like. I said, "Hey, I need you to put water down my shorts. I need to wake up now. Let's go, let's go." And then he did it, and then I started feeling a little bit better. I started waking up more, especially when that cold water hit and everything. So yeah, as soon as he got me good. I ain't gonna lie, he did. He's strong.
Man, that's but I mean, you were able to persevere, and that's I mean the name of the game, and again, what he's going to do in his career, continuing in boxing, it's going to be good.
Yeah, his career is gonna be great because he's like I say, he's a tough kid, and you know what I mean? If he keeps up with the same coach he has and stuff like that, if he keeps up with Jeff Austin and everything, he's gonna be a great fighter. Like I told him, he should stay in that division. He's a good fighter and he's strong for his weight.
Yeah, oof, man. But I mean, to step into the ring with newborn, you kind of have to be that type of athlete.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
At the very least, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story, and that's a damn good story, son.
Yeah.
No, Everett and Stephen are asking pretty similar questions. Yeah. Everett asked, "Do you have a guess on who you want to fight?" And then Stephen saying, "Any potential fighters that you would like to get back in the ring or cage with in MMA once you're healed and ready." So similar questions, but
uh,
let me have you answer it, bro.
yeah. Well, right now, I mean, we have one person in mind and stuff like that, but right now my coaches are more worried about me actually healing up first before we go up on that part. They want me to heal up. They want me to train and everything like that, and then Uh, when all that happens, we'll reveal who it'll be. But we're still trying to put the works on it as well. We're trying to find a vendor, a show and everything else like that. So as soon as I know something, you guys will know something.
There you go. And I mean, you got to make sure that you follow you on social media to figure all of that out, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, you got to follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. I'll let everybody know everything.
There it is. There it is. Now, I have to ask, right? So obviously you got cracked, right? I mean, your feet went up from under you, theoretically speaking, and what have you, and then your nose, becoming impaired, right? So did you have? I mean, you still it happened in the second, and then you finish in the fourth, right? So there's almost two whole rounds that had occurred with your nose, right? So
Right.
did you have any sort of like breathing? I mean, once you came to and the splash of water and you almost got shocked back into life,
Right.
what like did you have any breathing problems and anything with your cardio?
No, no, no. I was fine. Everything was fine. I was still able to breathe out of it. Good thing. I mean, I thought it was broken. Like honestly, I thought it broke, but it's not. I mean, it's not that bad and stuff like that. I have to go get my hand checked out. I don't know if it is or not, but uh, I know I didn't have any trouble. Yeah, I had some blood coming out and stuff like. Cause he did crack it. He did crack me good on there, and my corners, man, they knew exactly what to do to help and everything like that, to make sure that it didn't get stuffed up or anything. So I'm grateful for that. Uh, but yeah, after that, I mean, right when that happened, I knew for a fact right there. Oh, now it's on. I want it more. I want it more than he does. So we just went back in there and just started going at it.
No, and it's funny too because oftentimes you hear, if let's say a fighter or particularly like kind of a slow starter, right? And can't get the engines in order, but then something happens, maybe a cut happens, and they see their own blood, taste their own blood, or I mean, whatever. It's almost like, Dale, come on, let's go.
Yeah, it's an adrenaline. Yeah, it's an adrenaline rush. Well, I mean, to me, it is. Like if I was to see my own blood and stuff, like it's like I don't know if you ever noticed this, but when wrestlers need energy, like especially I forgot where it's at. I mean, don't quote me on this because I don't know exactly where, but I know there's some wrestlers out there. What they do is they bite their tongue, and it gives them
I've
like
heard of
some
them.
like they'd be like and then start going. I was like, oh wow. So basically, like just the taste of the iron of their blood or something like that just gives them some, I guess, testosterone boost or something, or adrenaline, or it's like a shot of epinephrine or something.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Because they often say in the wild, like the worst type of animal to kind of encounter is a wounded one because they know their days could be potentially numbered. So they're
Right,
gonna fight you tooth and nail because there's nothing left to lose.
right, right. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, not to me. It was just an adrenaline rush to me when I felt that happen. I was ready for some more. I wanted more.
Now, speaking of like things that you want, and a question that often gets asked, but what was your walkout music?
Well, that's just it. Nobody got their walkout music going.
What?
Nobody, yeah, nobody got their walkout music. The DJ played a music for everybody, which for me, the DJ actually got me a good song. You know what I mean? It did get me up. I mean, it got me pumped. But my original song that I was gonna come out to was gonna be I believe that we can win by Pitbull.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys ever heard of it, but I mean that it's basically about the virus, you know what I mean? How we're fighting the virus and stuff like that. He wants everybody to know that we can beat this virus and everything. But I used it as like, as my boxing and my walkout song for that. So that was the song I was supposed to come out to, but nobody at the event actually got their song to play when they walked out.
Okay, and in defense, right? In defense, I've been to shows, right, and fights where, obviously, your trainers, the cut man, the fighters themselves, their focus is on the fight, right? So, you know, you might put in the email, hey, send me the link to whatever walkout music that you want to do, blah blah blah, whatever, whatever. Nobody ever does it beforehand. Literally, like 10 minutes before everybody, like, your hands are wrapped and everything like that, you're about to go out, and then the DJ is scrambling to find everybody's walkout music or even to play it, because now you've got like, 20 dang songs in addition to the ones that you're playing to keep the crowd in between fights hyped up. It's not an
Right.
easy task.
Yeah. It's I don't think it is. I know that if I was a DJ and stuff like, I probably would have screwed everybody's song. I probably would have.
Like everybody's coming out to Nickelback. Deal with it.
Yeah, that would have been funny. Oh man, that would have been funny. Or how do you call it? Come out to like some Jason Aldean or something. That would have been funny.
Something. Oh yeah. What is it? Or let's talk about me. That's at the not Trace Atkins. He's one guy. Toby Keith, I think it is. Like,
Yeah,
let's
Toby
talk about
Keith.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about
Yeah,
me. Which is
it would have
definitely
been
something.
funny.
Yeah, yeah. Now, obviously, dude. I mean, big fight, big win, right? And you're making the full time commitment to mixed martial arts, which is awesome. But in this boxing, kind of endeavor, something that was taught to you by your grandfather, and you've carried through to this day.
Right.
Uh, what would you like to say to? I mean, let's get some shout outs of the way. People that have helped you, get to where you are, and I mean, secure the win last night.
All right. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I want to give a shout out to my wife. Obviously, she's always going to be my number one fan and my biggest supporter. I wanted to give a shout out to my daughter because her birthday had just passed, and I made sure that everybody at the fight knew that it was her birthday and this fight was for her. Uh, I want to give a shout out to my team, my coaches, Leslie and Jonathan, for being there in my corner, helping me. My whole entire team from Atlantics, they came out and showed love and support. I wanted to give shout outs to my sponsors, MMAT Company, for for the shirts, the awesome shirts that they made and everything like that, and everybody out there was wearing it. Um, I want to give a shout out to my opponent Owen. You know, I mean, he's a tough kid, like I said, and I see a real big future in his career, and he's just like he's an awesome dude. He went in there ready to bang, and we did. You know, the only thing is that I came up on top. That's the only thing.
I think that's so brilliant. That's so brilliant. And your gym name again?
Oh, Atlantic MMA
And where's that at?
in Hickory, North Carolina.
Dang right. You know, it's the place that made the face. You know, theoretically speaking.
Yeah, but Owen made this one a little bit better.
Hey, hey, you know what? You can't win them all, right?
I think he actually fixed it for me. I don't know what you think.
I think it. I mean, what GQ, right? That's what you got going on Tuesday, right? That GQ photo shoot, right?
GQ photo shoot.
Yeah, the like the what is it, the sexiest man alive or whatever.
Ah, yeah, right, my guy. No way. I can't. Uh, nope, that's not for me right there.
It's all right. It's all right. When that only when you see the OnlyFans money drop, then yeah, I mean, never mind. Anyway, another story for another day. Uh, but for those who haven't followed the life and times of the one and only uh, Newburn Morel, where can they find you on social media, my man?
All right, on Facebook you can find me on Rafael Newborn Morel, and on Instagram you can find me on MMA Newborn. Uh, so if you guys please can follow me, and I'll follow back. You know what I mean? The more people I get, the better it looks for all of us. And I'll
Damn
promise I'll
right.
keep you in touch. I'll promise I'll keep you in touch and give you updates for the next events and how training's going, how the camp's going, and everything else.
Well, can't wait. We cannot wait at all. And I follow him. You guys should too. He's a fun follow, and man, it's such an honor and a privilege to have you here, especially so soon after your fight. We can't wait to see what happens with you. But this has been According the Woods with Rafael Newborn Morel, and we are out. Oh yeah, like, share, and subscribe, folks.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah, late.